Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody. It's Beverly and Jerry at Bama Blind, and we thought we might just share with you a wild hair that we had. We were out driving around, and Jerry and I decided it's time to go out to dinner. And we haven't been out to dinner, Jerry, in how long?
Oh, over a year.
I think that all of our subscribers had a picture of Jerry and I when we were in Atlanta last year, and we were dining at a really, really ritzy Italian restaurant. And it was awesome because they catered to us as if we were the only people in the whole place. And it was truly the last weekend. It was the last weekend in February, and we were at a conference. And so it was the last weekend that we had gone out unmasked and unseparated. And ever since then, we have basically had takeout, cooked at home, and now we have what we showed just the other day, our freshly orders that are delivered to our house.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She just brought some lemons.
So that will go in our water. We've also done something that we never do. We ordered a little white wine to go with our meal. We are at a Greek and Italian restaurant. And the restaurant used to be owned by a friend of ours, and unfortunately he passed about a year and a half ago. And it was really hard on us because we saw him about once every week or 2 weeks, and he was such a nice man. And he owned this restaurant and managed it and would sit and talk with Jerry and I. So it's been kind of hard emotionally for us to get back to this place and to come here. And we also just have been involved with COVID and just didn't want to expose ourselves. So we decided the night before Valentine's, we would treat ourselves to a dinner out. We were in this area. This is a good 45 minutes from where we live. So, it's not like drive down the street. And so what I've done, I can't see a thing in the restaurant. Jerry says the lighting already is very dim. So once again, we're dining in the dark. And Jerry, I guess it looks kind of dark to you too, huh?
Yes.
Now,
I'll turn it around just so folks can see me.
Yes.
And
A little bit
so
close up of you.
yeah, there I am, and I'm sitting across the way.
Here's how I do. I put I unroll my napkin, put it in my lap. I can't see a thing. I've got my knife on the right, and I've got 2 forks on the left, and I'm assuming one is for dessert if we ever have that, and one
Yes.
is for my entree.
Yes.
And then Jerry, I'm going to cheers to you because
Cheers.
we have got some white wine. Cheers, and happy
Cheers.
Valentine's Day to all of
Yes.
y'all. Oh, that is delicious.
Very
That's
good.
another treat for us. We never have a wine with our meal. We typically have water. And let's see. Now, I'm going to grope out here and see if I find lemon. Are you following my hand?
Yes, I am.
I found the lemon. See how easy that was?
Yes.
I backed my hand up around my wine glass and I squeezed my lemon into my water. Because you certainly need water. I just put that down in
That
there.
was done very skillfully.
Well, we've been out to eat a lot. And Jerry, you remember when I was losing so much of my vision? And you and I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And I would just reach my hand out real quick and grab the glass and knock it over.
Yes.
And we figured out after a long time, and it took both Jerry and me trying to figure this out, is I had not learned, it was such a habit, I had not learned to slowly approach my glass as I just now did. And I typically will try to put the glass at the end of my knife tip. So if I can just follow my knife tip out to my glass,
Yes.
there it is. Now,
Smart.
when the waiter or waitress comes and they refill these, a lot of times Jerry will just take my water glass and put it right at the tip of my knife again. So, because I don't know where the waitress has placed it. And again, it's really dark in here. We're dining in the dark. That's okay with me. And I guess it's okay with you.
Yeah.
Now, underneath our table, we have another guest. She's already gotten 3 compliments from 3 of the employees at the restaurant. Gretchen is hiding under the table. She's on a long leash, which means I give her plenty of room, and then she lays down and rests under the table. And we always ask for a table. When we first walked in, we asked for a table rather than a booth. That was another secret to our success, is a table gives you a little bit more space underneath where Gretchen can sit.
Right.
So those are just some of our secret things that we have learned over. Jerry and I have been together now for, this will be 31 years. We've been married for, this will be 29 years. And I remember our very first Valentines. Jerry, do you remember it? We were just dating. We were just dating. You lived here in my hometown. You were in the military and you were stationed here.
Yes.
And we have been dating for about 6 months. And I lived in a different town than Jerry. And he's the only driver. And so he lived in the big city and I lived in the suburbs. So every date that we ever had, Jerry would have to drive miles and miles and almost an hour just to pick me up from my house, and then take me back into the big city if we were going to go to a movie or to dinner or to a comedy club or anything like that. It was all in the city that Jerry lived in and not in the city that I lived in. So not only did he have to drive and do all those things, and he would always plan out our dates. So for our very first Valentine's Day, I was at home from work because it was, I think it was close to President's Day, but I had the day off and I was doing some housework and I had the radio on. Now this is back in the day when I listened to the radio. And they wanted to know, they wanted anyone to enter their sweetheart into the sweetest thing. Of course, down here we call it the sweetest thing.
Here comes the appetizer.
Oh, great.
Make some room.
Spanakopita is awesome. It's our favorite Greek spinach pie with phyllo
Thank
dough.
you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So anyway, I have to tell the story, thank you, about Jerry and the sweetest thing, because I entered him into the contest and I had to call and give a verbal scenario of why he deserved to be considered as the sweetest thing. And after a 3-day entry level, Jerry won. There was a voting, it wasn't random, he won. And he won because I explained that I'm visually impaired and that Jerry didn't care that I was visually impaired, that I couldn't drive a car to meet him somewhere, although that would have been a lot more convenient, and to bring me home, you know, late at night after a movie or dinner and a movie. And so, anyway, I entered him into the contest. He won, and what he got was like the jackpot. I mean, it was just an off-the-cuff contest. That he got a big, huge sheet cake with a picture of me on it. Wow, wow, wow! And he got a huge dozen red roses delivered to his work, which he was working in top secret military buildings at that point, so it was difficult to have his flowers delivered to him, but they were delivered to him. And then we got a lunch for 2 at one of the really high-rated restaurants in the big city. And then we got dinner for 2. It was a quaint dinner for 2 in the historic district from where I lived. So it was 2 meals, it was flowers and cake, and we just had the best time enjoying Jerry being so sweet. None of that has changed.
I deserved it.
You do, and you still do. You get sweeter and sweeter every year.
See that?
And you're not only my eyes and my guide, but you're my best friend. So
Bless you. All right, I love hope you enjoy your spanakopita.
Thank you very much.
Happy Valentine's
And thank you for
Day.
the appetizer and the wine, and it will be followed by a delicious meal. And hope all of you have a really, really happy Valentine's Day, whether that's you enjoying yourself in your own company or joining another person or your family members, or best of yet, pets, animals, guide dogs, etc. Have a happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.